All right, welcome back. I got a special guest, Joel Farrell from Strive for 25 back on. And today we're gonna do maybe put a little twist on it. We had our weekly chat, we had a topic, but this is gonna be our second one. And I want to touch on kind of the day in the life of Joel Farrell. So welcome back, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. So, you always, you've been better. You're not late anymore, but you're always like, "Oh, I'm so busy and I got all this." So I want to know kind of what does a day look like for you, man?
Um, it's funny because I was talking to, um, I think it was my dentist, a dentist assistant person, and chatting and whatever. How's it going? How's the podcast going? Blah blah blah. And oh, it's going. How's mortgage business? It's going. She's like, yeah. That's cool that you got the podcast going because my lender, they got a second job working at Costco. And she used the word, yeah, she's panicking. So she got a job at Costco. Panic. I mean, this is just me personally. Like the life of a lender, it's been a lot of panic, uncertainty, doubt. You know, when you have a product that you sell, right? Let's just say that you sell sunglasses. I know that people that are going to the beach need sunglasses. I know that people that, you know, go out in the summer, probably gonna need sunglasses. Like, so you have a very, linear type of path of finding who your target market is. And again, that's just a dumb example, but in our world, things have changed so much that there's the amount of activity has dropped so much. Like the people who are buying has shrunk to a smaller level. The amount of inventory has shrunk to a small level. So you have, year over year inventory and actual transactions is pretty much record lows. So as a lender, like I know our business, we're down 70% in terms of the number of transactions. Now, and we're a purchase company. Like we don't do a lot of refinances. I mean, we do, but some companies specialize in refinances, which are very rate sensitive. We're a purchase company. We're driven on relationships and purchase. And so the reason I bring that up is because when you don't know exactly where your business is going to come from, when you don't know, how it all connects together and where to be putting your activities that's going to return a result, it becomes very challenging to get up every day to do your job because any work that you do in this world of building relationships, it takes time. So you put in, weeks and weeks and months of building relationships and doing work and follow up and follow up and follow up. But if you're going down the wrong path, when do you pull the plug? When do you shift your focus? And so that's been a struggle the last 18, 20 months is where do you really put your activity and your focus? And so panic is the word that person used. And I would definitely agree with it because there's just, you don't know where the next deal is coming from. So kind of pulling it back to my personal journey, with the whole Strive for 25 platform, this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Done some talks on it, done some presentations over the last 6, 7 years. And it didn't really become an actual platform until 2022 when we started the Instagram channel on July 12th and started posting every single day. The podcast started in 2022 in September, and now we're over 100 episodes. And so the basic premise of Strive for 25 is increase income, save 25%, have options to invest. Simple. And that's really comes from the fact that, in my day job, working with people to purchase homes, I can't tell you how many times I come across someone's profile where, hey, I want to purchase a home, but we're not ready. We're not ready. And yeah, credit, income, yes, those are things that are struggles for some people and for many people. But the biggest limiting factor that I see is having the money for down payment and closing costs. That's the biggest limiting factor. Don't have the money. And yeah, there's a ton of programs out there, but there's limits on these programs in terms of qualifying and debt to income ratios and scores and all the things. So when I look at, okay, what's the controllable that can be, you know, delve to dig deeper into, to put energy into, to help somebody get closer to being able to purchase a home. That's okay. Well, all these things, cutting and budgeting, it's only going to get you so far. How do you increase income? What are the ways that people are increasing income? So for me to be able to put in, energy and to put the controllables out there, it's can I help somebody get closer to increasing income? Because if they can do that, then they're going to be closer to be able to save more money and purchase a home. So that for me right now in the last 18 months with this podcast, spending time on this, the the series that I'm running right now on Instagram, where I'm counting up to 100 stories of people increasing income, accumulating, building a side hustle. I'm accumulating 100 stories, and I'm going to start sharing these. So that way, I can go do events or go out and about and be able to share some of these stories and guides to be able to inspire, hopefully spark someone to be able to get further along in their journey. And so, from a day in the life standpoint, like podcasts during the day, throughout the week, phone calls with realtors, clients, planning. It's a lot of planning at night. The lives that we do at night is some of the day. But yeah, I get up with the kids, get them out the door get to school by 8, get to the office, do my thing, be done by 5, pick up the kids. My wife works. She as a counselor, so she's been, crazy busy, which is helpful, um, for the household and income and all that stuff. So, get the kids down, by 8:30, 9, and then try to get some more work done.
Sounds hectic, man. Yeah. I mean,
It's a season, right? It's the season of, hey, it's time to invest. It's time to, rebuild. That's the season that we're in.
so do you think, yeah, I know like you're saying your business is from the lending side has slowed down and less transactions. But do you see that as where that's allowing you to actually grow the other side so that when, the market shifts again, now you'll have multiple things going on. And I think that's what a lot of realtors realize too is, the market was going great, a lot of transactions. And then when it slowed down, they're their income dried up. And now you're seeing a lot of them starting to also implement property management and leasing into part of their services that they offer. Because it's like, at least it's some steady income to pay some bills. And so for you, yeah, it's hectic. Yeah, it's stressful. The market has changed and it's kind of slowed down, but it's also giving you time, I guess, in a sense, because from a lender side, you can't really necessarily, I would say, get clients, right? I mean, pretty much you can't convince someone that it's time to buy a home, right? So they pretty much come to you when it's time. So you have this other time to, like you're saying, work on your podcast and work on other side things. Now should be, when the market shifts, it should be kind of running on its own, hopefully. So maybe it's an opportunity, I guess.
100%, because the natural flow from a lending standpoint is, okay, go network with a bunch of realtors, you know, take care of their clients, and a lot of the lenders pay to play. You pay for a desk rental, or you pay for leads. You pay money, lots of money, to be able to kind of build these relationships with these good realtors that have built their business and have that lead flow. So that's the traditional type of flow. So, but right now, every lender's out there trying to knock down doors with realtors. So you're a dime a dozen. It's tough. You probably get people calling you. So, you know, my philosophy, or what I'm trying to be able to do as well, is to try to flip that script to educate, inspire, help from the financial standpoint. So that way, at the end of the day, to be selfish, when someone's ready to go, you've already planted those seeds to be able to help somebody get to where they want to go. And when they do want to purchase a home, they're thinking of our team, rather than going through the traditional routes of the flow through the realtor. So, that's kind of what I'm trying to do as a byproduct of this. And then, to be frank, you know, people in our industry, well, one, people are leaving the industry, but two, the people that are in the industry, I think the average age of a lender is like 48, 49, something like that.
Right around
I,
your age, man.
yeah, you're right around my age. But I guarantee you the majority aren't in this world of trying to be able to build scale and leverage with platforms and social media. And so it's going to be survival of the fittest. If you're not doing these things, you're going to be left behind. So a huge opportunity for people that are trying to build skills and to get better.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying too is because you had some things in place also before, the market shifted and even trying to build the podcast and other things, you had rental properties. All of that has helped you somewhat weather the storm a little bit. And, it just goes back to why we have to have multiple streams of income and be prepared for, a changing market. Because if not, I mean, nothing wrong or nothing against it, but you might be working at Costco too, right? I mean,
Right.
so, but you kind of had some other things in place, and actually Costco did a great job. But I mean, but I mean, but you had some other things in place that allowed you to kind of use this time to also build something else. I kind of look at it, we always talk about sports and stuff too. Sometimes guys get injured, right? And it's a setback, of course, but they sometimes come back a lot stronger because now they've actually had this time to focus on other parts of their game or whatnot. Because maybe they hurt their knee, so they weren't able to run and jump as much, and they'd have to work on their shooting more or their form, right? So now they come back and they're a more well-rounded player or a better shooter because they had to focus on or practice other things while they
Yeah.
couldn't be as active. So I think it just allows you to it's an opportunity that and it's just how same thing, right? How you take advantage of it, right? There's a like you said, there's a lot of people that might be facing the same situation as you, and they may either walk away from the business, maybe they don't have maybe the opportunity, because they don't have the extra income coming in to start something else. But in your case, you're able to maybe capitalize on it. So like you're saying, when the market does change, you planted this seed, and hopefully your business strives from there.
Totally. Totally. But yeah, like I have to thank my wife because, you know, if she wasn't there, I just work nonstop. So that's just my
Hmm.
mentality. Like just go, 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 go. So she keeps me within the framework of okay, make sure you're with the kids, make sure you're here for this time for, pick up and all these things, right? Because I get to the point where I'm kind of singularly focused. And so like, spending time with the kids is something that I love and cherish. And like literally these kids, they're 4 years old and um, asking questions about space and the planets and like it's 9:30 at night and the whole like gravity, putting the ball into like the rubber and the thing sinks and then it shows like we were like literally last night showing them the using a blanket and putting a stuffed animal in the middle and why does the moon go around the earth? Well, does the earth go around the sun? Like 4 year olds asking these questions, like, okay, let's dig into this. This is
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, having a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah. I think that's one of the struggles too, is just finding that balance. And especially if you have young kids, it's always like you don't, like you're saying, you want to be focused on what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's really about them. And you got to put that time in with them. And it's always a struggle, finding a balance. And that's, even for me, like, I mean, my situation with my son's mom and when he's with the mom it just allows me to focus on what I need to get done. So when he's with me, some of the stuff I have to push to the side, but because he's not with me all the time, it's kind of 50-50. So it's like I just realized, okay, when he's with the mom, I got to get all this other stuff done.
Yeah.
And it's just balancing and figuring what works for you. And you know, kind of goes back to your surrounding too, right? And I was listening to a Alex Hormozy podcast. He was talking about how if you can control basically someone's kind of environment or surroundings, you pretty much can control how this person is going to behave or act. And I think he even talked about like in Vietnam, right? There was a high usage of heroin among the soldiers, and there was concerns that they were going to come back and not have this whole drug addiction and heroin problem. But a lot of these soldiers came back and they got back into civilization, and there was no, because you took them out of that environment that they were in previously. And you look at like drug rehab centers, right? A lot of people that go to the centers and they get back out, but they end up back in that same environment, and there's a lot of times there's a relapse. So it's kind of like, if you control your surroundings, and he even talks about it, right? Put yourself maybe you gotta move 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes away from,
Yeah.
where your friends are, or just across town where it becomes an inconvenience to participate in activity. They might call you, hey, let's hit the bar tonight, and you're like, it's kind of far. I don't want to go. But that slight inconvenience allows you to this kind of, yeah, I'm not going to participate. It's taking that, changing your environment. I think that's super important. And yeah, that's sometimes what I struggle with.
Yeah. I totally agree. And like, you know, I don't ever want to propose people taking risks, right? Unnecessary risks. But for me personally, kind of going back to the decision to go into this land development deal, you know, I've just turned 40. I've been in the mortgage industry since 2006. I've done some pretty cool stuff and, whatever. But I got to the point where like, okay, just I wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew that I could do more. I knew that I could have a better impact. And so, at that time in 2022, there was a severe lack of inventory. And so that went into kind of one of the pieces of the puzzle of the logic that I used to be able to decide to do this thing. And by doing that thing, I force myself to have to figure other things out along the way. And, you know, again, this is a massive deal. And so maybe it's a different thing for somebody else to just put herself into a coaching program or another environment that forces you to figure things out around amazing, other amazing people.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that also comes back to just as you start heading along this journey, things change and I get it, people like to leverage and debt and all, and that's how how you do scale. But at some point you kind of also realize like, take some chips off the table, take some risk off it. Having some paid off properties might be beneficial, right? Or very, very low, leverage on certain properties because, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen in the market. And these other assets that have less debt on them or leverage, are generating enough cash flow to survive off of and pay your bills and enjoy. And so I think that's another way to look at it. And sometimes, like you're saying too, you're not trying to tell people to be risky or get in certain deals, but you also got to look at your kind of portfolio. And if you have a lot of um, low risk assets or investments, then yeah, maybe you want to dabble in something and test the waters and see if that's something you want to try. And I think that's a great way to look at it. But I'll give you a pass, for being late. I guess you're kind of busy and you have a lot on your plate, and you are doing a lot of things. And but I know you're watching basketball because I see you commenting on X. I know not all your time is spent working.
Well, it's funny because you know, I got the Spectrum app on my phone, so I can be sitting on my computer, got the phone going, watching because they're typically playing at 9 o'clock my time. So
That's funny because I used to have like, NFL ticket and MLB, whatever it's called now, that MLB TV. And I don't know when's really the last time I actually watched an entire game. I mean, it's pretty much just highlights or the box scores now, but I really can't say like, oh yeah, I actually sat down and watched an entire game. But yeah, I think you know you got to put things in perspective and what's important. And I don't know, I guess maybe for me too, like I could tell Sierra and you folks, I think maybe I'm a little bit of an outlier sometimes where maybe I enjoy this stuff talking to you folks. And so that's kind of my enjoyment or having fun, I guess, maybe nowadays. So things have changed for me a lot.
yeah, I need to ask Josh if you watched that Lakers Warriors game. That finish,
Oh
double
yeah,
time,
yeah.
LeBron and
I was trying to
Steph.
prod you on that. You knew
I
that
know,
I
I know.
yeah, I guess you got to watch what you say though, because I don't know. Hugo's messing with me, but I said something on his YouTube video. He's like, "Hey man, you mess with the algorithm. You like, I don't even." He used some term that I don't even know. He's like, "You unviraled my video or something like that." I'm like, "What?"
Because of a
Yeah,
comment.
I don't know. He might, but now he says he's just messing around. But
Oh, okay.
because because I said something on X, I was like, "Oh man, you got me with your clickbait." And so his video came on YouTube, and I said, "Ah, I love it, man, clickbait." And he messaged me back. He's like, "Yo, bro, man, you unviraled my video by making that comment." And I was like, "What?" And then I don't know. He says he's joking, but I looked at his stuff, and the views were quite low compared to maybe his other videos. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for doing this. I'm glad we got two in. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I'll give you a pass, but you've been doing a great job actually being early. So, but
No, I'm just
Um,
thankful that you still got me around. I mean, I'm hanging on by a thread here. So like I'm just thankful you
like I
got me,
said,
man.
man, I definitely Sierra's videos get a lot more views on them. So I said,
Yeah, I got some work to do.
when I find someone else, Joe might get bumped. But
I need a better thumbnail. I need to go find an actor to be
you gotta
my
send me
thumbnail.
better pictures, man. Or I haven't had a new picture from you in a while.
No. I'll work
Yeah.
on that. I'll work on something here. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
All
figure it out.
right. Put like a Lakers jersey on or something.
Oh shit.
All right, man. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
doing this, and we'll do it again next week.
See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
man. Bye.